Hey guys, my name is Palomore. You might also know me as R-Code or Ryan, but welcome to my short guide on how to return to World of Warcraft at this stage of Battle for Azeroth. The reason I've decided to make this video is because I've recently returned myself, and the amount of things I've had to learn felt somewhat overwhelming, and I wish that I had the opportunity to watch a quick video like this one that could help catch me up. I apologize if I miss any details. This short guide has been based off of my personal experiences catching up. I am on a 120 boosted character, which starts off with a couple things already completed. Anyways, let's cover a couple of the basics to know for returning to WoW in BFA patch 8.3. Okay, so first off, one of the biggest things to learn about is Azerite gear. So these pieces are your helmet, shoulder, and chest slots only. They have specific little traits that you can unlock within them, similar to your talent tree. Whenever you get a helmet, shoulders, or chest, it will be randomly given basically these traits that work with your class and spec. So I'd recommend looking up the best traits for you, depending on if you prefer PvE or PvP, and whatever works for you the best, and then trying to get the pieces of gear that have that. Okay, nextly, let's jump into your necklace, your Heart of Azeroth. The cool thing about this little guy is that you can actually level it up by doing a tons of things in the game, from PvP to raiding to world quests, etc. The item level will increase as you level it up, but the real cool thing about it that's super OP is the ability to hold up to 4 essences once you level it up high enough. There are plenty of essences in the game that you unlock in various ways, and they have different active and passive effects. You can place one of your 4 in the major slot and then the other 3 in the passive slots, and the one in the major slot will usually have an active on-use ability. The other 3 just give passive buffs similar to talents once again, and you can rank these essences up actually too, from level 1 to 4, and they give better bonuses as you do so. I won't get too into the essences in this video, but you should look up what ones to aim for with your playstyle. It's important to note, whatever trait you put into your major slot will have both the major and minor effects, while the minors will only use the minor effects. Next up, we could touch on the legendary Cloak. Long story short here, there's basically a somewhat long quest line you need to do to get your cape. This is definitely one of the most important items in your entire setup, and I'd prioritize getting it ASAP. You can level it up as well, similar to your heart necklace, but in a completely different way, which I'll explain later in the video. For the last gear-based thing I'd like to touch up on before I shift over is going to be corruption. At first I found this concept very confusing, but once you understand the basis of it, it's very simple. Corruption is a stat you can get on your gear from raids or from manually applying it, and corruption is bad. It will make certain PvE style effects happen to you, such as spawning an eyeball that will shoot you with the damage, and the higher your corruption number gets, the more bad things that will start to happen to you. So if you're like me, you might be wondering why you might have heard corruption is a good thing at all, or why you would want to even get any of it. And the reason why it is good is because every corrupted item comes with some type of affix that actually gives you some type of damage bonus. Some can be raw stat increases. For example, as a PvP fire mage, I aim for corruption that increases my versatility from all sources by 12% on some of my gear. And some can be procs that do awesome damage in raids. Like there's one called Infinite Starfall for casters that will drop stars down on the target, and one called Twilight Devastation that sends out this damaging beam that does damage based off a percentage of your health. I wouldn't overcomplicate this in a basic guide, but as you get back into the game and progress, I definitely look more into what kind of best corruptions you can get and at what time you can buy your manual applications. There's basically a vendor that will cycle through all of the corruptions that you can add to your gear, so making sure you can pick those up when they're available. A safe amount to stay below for beginning out is underneath 40. The way you can manage not going too high with corruption is from a stat called corruption resistance, and you can actually get this through some random essences like plus 10, but primarily from your legendary Cloak. As you level up your cape, you will get more and more corruption resistance, which allows you to handle more of it on your gear. Okay, so with gear set aside for now, I'm going to quickly touch up on the currencies. There was a lot that I was really unfamiliar with coming back. So starting from the top, we have Coalescing Visions. This currency can be primarily collected by doing the weekly assaults in Uldum and the Vale of Eternal Blossom. There are also dailies in each zone, and in one of the 2 zones each week there will also be a mini vision daily, which you can do. It's similar to the other daily quests and it will give you a lot of visions. This currency is going to be the main one you'll use to level up your legendary cloak. Every 10,000 collecting visions, it will allow you to buy a vessel, and with these vessels you can enter visions to get cape upgrades. Once again, without overcomplicating it, you can enter into a vision, kill a boss, acquire gear, and then a quest item that you turn in to upgrade your cape. I would look more into an in-depth guide of these visions before starting out, but this is definitely a good currency to build up. The next currency is corrupted mementos. So these are acquired from within those visions that I just talked about, and they can be spent primarily on a talent tree to make the visions easier. They will make you stronger when you're within them. So you'll only get these when you do your visions primarily, and you can use them up over on this little area. It gives you your own little corrupted memento tree, I guess. Next up is the Echoes of Nyalotha. These can be obtained in plenty of ways, going from raids to mythic dungeons to PvP. For me personally, I get tons of them from 3v3 arena. One win is around 100 plus echoes, and these can be used to buy those specific corruption applications that I talked about from the vendor, and you can also use them to buy extra vessels to level up your cape faster. But I would not recommend that. Also, when your cape is at the max level, you can spend this currency to add raw corruption resistance to your cape. Okay, we have prismatic mana pearls now. These are a currency that are obtained from questing and dailies in the Nazjatar area. This area is used to grind out the Lucid Dreams essence as well, but I'm sure there are many other perks I haven't yet looked into. It's basically just a currency that's locked into this little mini zone as far as I've seen. So you'll get it from the dailies. Couple things you can buy with it, but it's not a super useful currency. Okay, Seals of War-Torn Fate. These are simply weekly rerolls. You can get 2 a week. I recommend using Marks of Honor and War Resources. These aren't super new to the game, so I'm not going to go too in depth on that. Now, Titan Residue. This is a really great currency, and you'll get most of this from your weekly Mythic Key chest, and you can use it to buy high item level Azerite pieces. So if you don't know what that chest is, it's basically the highest number of a Mythic dungeon that you run. Every Tuesday, you'll have a chest you can open up, and you'll get a piece of gear to that based off of the difficulty of the dungeon that you cleared. Lastly, just War Resources. I honestly don't even know how I have these. But you can get them from World Quest, and they seem pretty useless outside of buying rerolls. Okay guys, I hope covering all of this quick information can help you guys get right back into BFA before the launch of Shadowlands. If you found anything helpful from this video, please leave a comment and let me know, or drop a like and subscribe. I once again apologize if I misexplained anything or missed any details. Like I said, this is a boosted character and I'm still getting back into it myself, but for now, best of luck guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.